but I like Craig. Hopefully it can get the job done on Saturday.
Craig's in front. He's going to be a little bit too strong the last 50. It's not Flash, but we'll get the cash. And he goes home to win a length and a quarter. Rise at Dawn and Red Galaxy and Zuto fourth.
Crosshaven is on top for me in race 5.
Veloce Curro again headed off by going through Crosshaven. Goodness gracious me, Crosshaven's going to win it. He's back in the winners list.
Hello everyone and welcome to this week's preview. Racing at Caulfield this weekend. Can you believe it? Crosshaven won last week. I was super stoked. Hopefully we can find another Crosshaven at a big price this week. Kicking off the preview, we have race number 2 of Fillies and Mares Benchmark 84. Over the 1100 metres, the favourite is Kin coming back first up. Damien Lane rides is at $4. Mrs. Chrissy is at $5.50. It's the second favourite. Miss Icelandic first up at $6.50. Then you got 7 for Wave Rider Boy, $7.50 for South of Houston, and $8.50 for the 10 Jenny Pending. This was the last start win of Mrs. Chrissy at Sandown. This was over the 1,000 metres where it settled, I'm pretty sure 3 wide without cover. But it was a 1,000-metre race, so it didn't really matter. And was able to win. This horse is going well. It's last 3, it's won 2 of them, and it's run second on the other occasion. I just like it on Saturday because it's the fit horse and it's on speed. So although it's got the big weight, it's fit and it's on speed, which I like in this race because a few horses coming back first up. And a few settle out the back. So I like Mrs. Chrissy. In for second, Mesignati. I reckon this horse is getting under a lot of people's guard. We'll need to go back from gate 11 and come past a very good field. But it's 4 from 13 in its career, so it's still pretty progressive. It was a Swan Hill winner last start over the 975 metres in a benchmark 70, which is way weaker than what it faces on Saturday. But it's only had 3 starts on good ground for 2 wins, so I reckon this horse could improve rapidly and run well at a big price. In for third, Miss Icelandic will be on speed. Gate 2 loves Caulfield. It's got to go in there. And Kin will have to come past them all first up. Is good enough too. So I've got it in there for 4th. But I like Mrs. Chrissy in race number 2. Just ahead of Mesignati at a bit of a price. Race 3 is a benchmark 78 over the 2,000 metres. Trocity is the favourite in this at $4.60, just ahead of Golden Crusader, who's been well backed into $5. Then you've got $6.50 for Gotta Be Savvy and $8 for Fagan. Gotta Be Savvy and Fagan feature in this last start replay we're taking a look at Sandown. This race was won by Golden State Warrior. Gotta Be Savvy had to, settled back and had to come around a lot of them. A bit wide on the turn, finished off well. Fagan seemed to have every chance and whacked away in 5th. I've got Fagan on top on Saturday. I just think it gets 2.5 kilos off Gotta Be Savvy off this run. Drops back 100 metres in distance, which I think is it's well suited to based off this replay. And it's a better price. So I've got Fagan just ahead of Gotta Be Savvy, who can't be dismissed. Should settle closer from gate 6 with Ben Allen on board. It'll be running well. Won't be surprised if it won. Test the Law gets Damien Lane and comes over from Adelaide, a last start winner in for 3rd. And the nephew in for 4th. Has had some key wins or finished ahead of Trocity when they've clashed. And that's the favourite. Gate 9 will need to find its form a bit, but is good enough to run a pretty good race. But I like Fagan and Gotta Be Savvy. Could hardly split them in race 3. Race 4 is another benchmark 78 over the 2,000 metres. Torrenzino is the favourite at $4.50. Just ahead of Desperado at $5. Then $5.50 for Jabberwockies. $7 for Valley King. $8.50 for Vegas Knight. And the rest are double figures. This was the last start run of Torrenzino at Swan Hill behind Unseen Ruler. Pretty sure this was on the Friday, the Golden Topaz Day. Torrenzino flashed down the outside, just couldn't get the winner. Now on Saturday, it's 3rd up, gets up to the 2,000 metres, has a light weight for Mickey D in the saddle, draws well for a good run, 55 kilos, has won at Caulfield before. I just think a lot of things set up for Torrenzino on Saturday, and that's why I'm happy to have it on top. I've got Torrenzino ahead of Desperado, who should get a good run from the gate. It's been racing well of late, so it'll be running well again. I've got it in for 2nd. Jabberwockies in there for 3rd. Can it run the 2,000 metres? Gate 1 will be right there on speed. And it's a pretty good horse. So I've got it in there for 3rd. And Shandon Burge in there for 4th. Craig Newitt takes the ride. We need to find some form this prep, but I think 3rd up now, settling closer from the gate, is ready to do so. But I'm in the corner of Torrenzino, 1 unit the win, race 4. Race 5 is a 3-year-old filly's handicap over the 1200 metres. Shiva coming back first up for the Hayes boys is at $4.60, $5.50 for both Bossy Nick and Enna's Dream, then out to $9 for both Paradise City and Unconquerable. This was the last start run of Paradise City at Sandown. This was behind Miss Roombini, where it led over 1,300 metres and didn't disgrace itself. It finished 4th and was only like a nose off second, which was Flying Fizz. So it ran pretty well here. I think back to the 1,200 metres suits, and gate 1 it doesn't have to lead. I'm hoping can box seat, get the gap at the right time for Tommy Stockdale. I reckon this is good enough to win. It's race fit, hard fit. It's 6th up on Saturday, and I reckon it can get the job done. It's good enough to anyway. Unconquerable is a pretty good chance. It's a pretty good horse. Came back first up at Flemington down the straight behind Lynx and ran very well there for Damien Lane. It's had 6 weeks between runs off that run though, so I'm not sure whether something's gone wrong in between, but if it hasn't, it's a good horse. 54 kilos, gate 2, a good run. It'll be running well. And there for 3rd, Miss Winslet. This horse was a good first up winner in a maiden. There's a big step up here, but I didn't mind the win, and it draws gate 3 for a good run for Tatum Bull. It's a good chance. Yankee 1 in there for 4th. Comes down from Sydney to avoid the wet tracks, I'm guessing. Kieran Marceline Gaudray, gate 6. Steffi Magnetica colours can't be dismissed. But I like Paradise City and Unconquerable in race number 5. Race 6 is a benchmark 84 over the 1,200 metres. Barraquil is the favourite at $3.50. 3 for 3 is the favourite, just ahead of the Open at $5, who's won its last 3. Jewellery is at $7.50, longer odds the rest. Last start win of Barraquil we're taking a look at Swan Hill. Did this very emphatically in this benchmark 78, settled outside the leader, won by 3.5 lengths. I reckon it can do the same again on Saturday. Draws gate 9, which is about mid-pack. Ben Allen takes the ride, should spear across to lead with Why Worry on its outside, and I reckon it can make it 4 from 4. Looks a very progressive horse. I'm happy to have it on top. In for 2nd, Legio 10. This horse put up with a slow recovery last up, but had a decent SP compared to Mars Mission and Pioneer River, who you asked to take a shorter price about them on Saturday, whereas Legio 10's $18. The market's completely forgotten about it. Damien Lane takes the ride, draws a bit wide, so I'll have to get back, but look to fly over the lot of them. In for 3rd, Jewellery at Stablemate. Won for me last start, so I had to put it in there. Draws gate 15. It'll be storming home from the back as well, but it might be too late. And then in there for 4th, I've got Sessions Road, the outsider of the field. This horse can run well from gate 1, but we need to turn its form around. But I think it's over the odds. At its best, it'll be running well, but I'm in the corner of Barraquil, my best of the day. Race 7 is a 3-year-old handicap over the 1,400 metres. Miss Roombini is the favourite at the moment at $3.20. Ahead of Alec Trainer at $4.80, then Valois at $6.50, and longer odds the rest. This was the last start run of Miss Roombini at Sandown. It was an emphatic winner here, winning by a solid margin, and it was in the best part of the track, but did the job really, really well, and I think can do it again on Saturday. This horse draws gate 3. Ethan Brown sticks with it, and I just think, judging off that win last start, it can do it again, and it's a really good chance to. So I've got Mr. Ubedi on top. Haven't got Flying Fizz this start, so yeah, that's a surprise, but still got it in my top 4. It's in for 4th. Alec Trainer in there for 2nd. Was a good first up winner at Swan Hill, where it won by a length and a half there. I reckon it'll get a good run for Mickey D. 54 kilos, gate 4 will be running well. Nuts and bolts at a bit of a price. I think it's a big price. It's way over the odds at $21. This horse for John McNeil running that Alec Trainer race, and yeah, it gets a lot of weight off Alec Trainer off that run. Gate 11 will be flying down the outside for John McNeil, and then Flying Fizz in there for 4th will be drawing gate 1 and needs some luck again, but Dean Yendall sticks with it, and I think it can run well. But I like Miss Roombini to do it again, win again in race 7. Race 8 is a 3-year-old handicap over the 1,000 metres. Godolphin of the favourite. Fleetwood is at $2.50. Le Parain is at $6 and is the second favourite. Jitalong is the third favourite at $6.50. Longer odds the rest. Fleetwood, this was its last start win. up in Sydney, defeating the Black Cloud, who won last week at Flemington, and a good, exciting horse called Jambalaya. Now, I did this on heavy ground, and because Sydney's another heavy track again this week, just wondering why James Cummings would send it south to go on an improving surface rather than keep it up there and keep it winning on tracks that it loves, which is heavy. That's the first thing that caught my mind and eye. Has to carry the 60 kilos, but Damien Lane's in the saddle. Draws gate 1 for a good run on speed. We'll just need luck in the straight, and I reckon it's way better than a lot of these. So I've got Fleetwood on top, ahead of Amigo, who's first up. We'll be running well. We'll want further than 1,000 metres in time, but we'll be running well here. Famoso, another horse that'll be wanting further than 1,000 metres in time. Mickey D, 54 kilos, will be storming home. And Jitalong, this horse is first up and draws wide, so we'll need some luck there, but it's good enough to win. I've got it in there for 4th. I like Fleetwood in race number 8. Race 9 is an open handicap over the 2,000 metres. Frigida San is the favourite at $4.60, ahead of Milford, who's at $5. Pounding's at $5.50. Dashing is at $8. Then longer odds the rest. This was the last start run of Milford at Flemington. This run was behind Virtuous Circle, where it sort of got held up a little bit and should have finished a lot closer to the winner. It was doing some good stuff through the line, so I was happy to have it on top on Saturday. Draws gate 2 for a good run, on speed for Luke Curry, stays at the 2,000 metres. It's won at Caulfield 3 times, so I reckon it's ready to win again. I was on it first up at 70s when it did nothing. Then second up it came out and won at about 50s or 60s. So I'm back on it. Luke Curry rides, rode Crosshaven last week. I'm ready to have him again. I reckon Milford is the one on Saturday. 0.75 minutes to win. He's on top. Smoking Roman's another horse I reckon's ready. 4th up, I reckon it's ready. Gate 6 on speed. Ryan Houston claims 3. It's ready to show its best. Pounding there for 3rd. Draws gate 7. Got the big weight for Luke Nolan, but will be flying home. And then in for 4th, Bel Toro. Should get a good run from that gate 3. It's hard fit. Teo Nugent rides again. It's a good chance. But I like Milford in the penultimate race at Caulfield on Saturday. Race 10 to finish the day is an open handicap over the 1,400 metres. Sholton Lane is racing again. He's the favourite at $2.30, ahead of Rheinberg, who's at $5. Then you got $5.50 for St. Lawrence and $8 for He's Our Bonneval. This was the last start run of St. Lawrence at Caulfield. This was behind Dashing and also Highlights, where it settled in an on-speed position, was wide without cover early, got restrained a little bit to find its spot and never picked them up over 1,600. It was a real sit and sprint. Now I think back to the 1,400 metres suits it ideally. It'll be in a more genuine run race with Edison in the race, and I just think I just have a feeling it's going to win on Saturday. Draws gate 1. I've got a couple of horses on Saturday with gate 1 as well, which I'm not too happy about, but they've landed on top for me. St. Lawrence, good run on speed. Ryan Houston rides. Just needs luck in the straight, and I reckon it'll be giving the race a real shake-up. Sholton Lane in there for 2nd. This horse has done everything right. Just it's off an 8-week let-up, so might need a run to find its best, but it can definitely win for Celine Gaudray. In for 3rd, He's Our Bonneval. Draws out a tad wide, which I don't like, but it will be storming home from the back. Same as Rheinberg, except he'll settle a little more forward in the run, in my opinion, and be hard to beat. I like St. Lawrence to finish the day at Caulfield. Now we move on to the quaddie. No good again last week. Only got 1 out of 4, which wasn't great. It was a gettable quaddie as well, which I wasn't too happy about. But we move on to this week. So in race 7, going for number 3, Valois, 6 Flying Fizz, 7 Reprisal, 10 Miss Roombini, 11 Nuts and Bolts, and 12 Electrona. In race 8, we've got number 1, Fleetwood, 5 Jitalong, 10 Amigo, and 15 Famoso. In race 9, going for 1, Smokin' Romans, 2 Pounding, 3 Milford, 5 Bel Toro, and 15 Touristic. And then in race 10 to finish the day, 1 It's Our Time, 3 Earlswood at a bit of a price, 6 Sholton Lane, 8 St. Lawrence, 12 He's Our Bonneval, and 13 Rheinberg. Hopefully we can get the quaddie this week. Thank you everyone for watching this week's preview. 8 horses we have units on Saturday, and a total of a 5.5 unit spend. That Torrenzino stake is meant to be 1 unit the win, not 0.75. 1 unit the win on Torrenzino in that race. I think we need 2 of them to win to make a profit. Hopefully that happens. We made profit last week. Hopefully we can keep it rolling into this week. Hope I've tipped you into a winner. Hopefully you enjoyed the preview. And until next week, bye for now.